Hello YouTube. My name is Birdie, short for Adalbert. You might know me as Obey the Snarf on some art sites, or you might know me as Birdie if I know you in person, or you might know me by my birth name. And by the way, if you know my birth name, please don't say it in any comments on the video. I would really appreciate it if you would not do that. Thank you. I'm a senior in college. I'm FTM, female to male transgender. So I am a female-bodied person who is transitioning to male. This video is going to be about my future plans and about my coming out experience. So yeah, some of the inspirations for coming out and for figuring out what was going on to begin with would be, for one, there's Bunny Bennett of Steam Powered Giraffe. She's really awesome. And also Tabs, Discord Comics, and Shades of A. And in October, Skylar Kurgel came to give a talk at my school. And that was really cool. And I've also had a lot of support from close friends while I was still figuring things out and deciding when to really come out, you know. And it was one of those friends who linked me to Tabs Comics to begin with, so that was cool. So yeah, what I want to do about it is, so I want to seek therapy. I am pretty sure I want to go on hormones. Maybe I eventually want top surgery. I'm not sure on that, and I am not sure about if I want anything done on the bottom parts, surgery-wise. But let's see, what I've got so far is I have a binder. Well, actually, I have two binders. I don't wear them at the same time. Don't do that. But I have moobs the size of the sun, so it's really a necessity. Alright, first I got a cheap one that was some Chinese brand, and it worked reasonably well, but I had some concerns about it. Then I got a Tri-Top Underworks binder, and it's really awesome. There are some difficulties with it, but I'm getting used to it, and it's really nice. And I will make a video review later for both of those binders. As for what I call my parts, I think I'm probably going to do a video at some point on what I want to call my body parts. Boobs, moobs, chest, whatever. I also own a Packer that I've had it for a couple of months, so it's kind of looking at this point because it's kind of a lower range one. It's a small vanilla Mr. Softee Packer. I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna do a video review on it at some point in hopefully the near future. I also have a stand-to-pee device. I own a P-Style, and it is fantastic. I have some issues with it, but for the most part, it's been awesome. And I'm gonna do a video review for that at some point. And I've been kind of doing my trans homework, you know, surfing the net for articles and information on transition and on the transgender experience in general. And I've been poking around on YouTube a lot, and there's a zillion trans guys on there, so there's all of this information, and it's really great. I've also been poking around on Tumblr. Mostly I've been looking at photos of what hormones have done to people's bodies, and it's helping with my decisions and whatnot. So as for coming out, I originally came out as genderqueer on December 2nd, 2013. There was an overwhelmingly positive reaction, especially from the people that I know in person, and I came out on Facebook in a sarcastic manner, darn Facebook, why don't you have a gender neutral option? so that I can like come out to my friends and family in the most awkward and impersonal way possible. And people are like, oh, this is it, we're all supportive and stuff. And my mom asked if it counts as coming out if there was no closet. So that was cool. And after that, I was able to kind of like step back from myself as a woman and think about myself in different ways and figure out, oh, I think I might be a guy. I'm going to do a video later about all the denial involved in that, and in way before that, you know. I feel like I should have known sooner, but I didn't. I eventually came out as female to male transgender on January 1st of this year. When my family and I were talking about our New Year's resolution, and I was like, well, my last resolution is to pass as male well enough to use the men's room, which actually has turned out to be not difficult. No, but nobody's stopped me from using the men's room. But so, and my family's immediate reaction was kind of well, that was my reaction to their reaction. Like they made comments on how feminine my face is, how big my boobs are, how big my hips are, and my dad made a wisecrack about urinals. That was kind of not nice, but I mean it's all right. Your kid or your sibling being transgender is not something that you necessarily prepare for or are prepared for. Even if your family is a little bit is as progressive as my family. It's just not something you expect. It's statistically not very probable. So, I'm not necessarily going to be totally politically correct in one's reaction. I guess eventual reaction in general. I guess so one of the first things I did was I asked my parents to help me pick a name. As I like the name that they originally picked for me. I have a very pretty birth name, but I appreciate having been given that name because it was a lovely name. And for all they knew, it fit, but it doesn't fit anymore. So since I liked the name they gave me the first time around, I asked them to help me come up with a new one. And so I asked them what they would have named me if I was born with little boy bits. And they told me either Skylar or Adelbert or Adelbert. I'm not entirely sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, but it's my name. Oops. It seems like it can be pronounced either way, depending on whether we're speaking German at the time. My family speaks German a lot. Long story. But my brother's name is Skylar. So that one was taken. So it's Adelbert. And I also asked them for help picking a nickname. And apparently they thought I was like trying to come up with a character name. I think they didn't realize that I was like coming up with like a name for myself. And so they suggested Birdie. But apparently my mom's got some funny history with that name. So we talked it over, and she calls me Adi instead, A-D-I, which is also short for Adelbert. In general, my dad seems to be surprised but okay with it. Maybe a little bit enthusiastic. Maybe I'm reading into things a little too much, but he's been really supportive. I kind of wonder if he's like excited to have another son. I don't know, but he's taken me clothes shopping a couple times, which is nice, and he's like bringing me up to speed on like guy stuff, weird rules about clothes and like ties. I'm trying to understand ties, but it's like some of the really silly looking ones are like super conservative or something. Still trying to learn that stuff, but yeah. And then there's the urinal algorithm, which some of you may be familiar with. I don't know. But so I'm figuring that stuff out with a lot of help from my dad. And my mom seems to have been having kind of a hard time with it, but she's trying really hard to understand, and she's actually the one who purchased my binders for me, which is really sweet. I'm really lucky to have family like this. I've had some good discussion with my mom about stuff, and a little while ago she finally called me by my new name, and there were hugs. It was great. So my siblings, I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, all of them younger than me. They're having a little bit of trouble remembering my name, but they're trying pretty hard, and generally they're doing a good job. My oldest brother told me he's probably never going to get used to it, but he's going to try. I kind of remember him saying something along those lines when I came out as bisexual, and it eventually stopped being an issue, so whatever. My oldest sister seems pretty chill about it. That's pretty good. We still get along pretty well. And I had to. Nobody sat down my 6-year-old brother and explained it to him. So I took him aside one day and I was like, "So my name is Birdie now, okay?" And he was like, "No, your name's birth name." And I was like, "No, it's Birdie, because I'm a boy now." And he was like, "No, you're a girl." And then there was a little back and forth of, "No, I'm a boy. No, you're a girl. I'm a boy. You're a girl." And then I was like, "Well, sometimes boys have girl parts." And his face just lights up, and he's like skinny arms? And I was like, "Yes, skinny arms, and sometimes boobs." So that went pretty well, and my family has just been super cool about it. And I feel like by this point it's kind of calmed down a bit. They're not asking as many questions, and that's kind of how it was when I came out as bisexual in high school. So I feel like it's starting to be more normal, maybe about as normal as it's going to be. I was actually out in public with my mom and my youngest brother. We went to a craft store because I wanted to pick up some materials for making things, and while I was checking out, my mom and my brother were talking, and they were using my new name, and I think there were some pronouns in there too, and the lady at the checkout called me sir, so that was really cool, and that's like an important message to give to people who are supportive, who are allies, that gendering someone correctly will cause other people to gender them correctly, and that's like a really good feeling when a stranger gets it right. It's really cool. Oh yeah, and my other sister, I don't really know how she feels about it. I don't know if she does have any particular opinion on it. Seems like we're cool. And so that's going pretty well. And my brother, the oldest brother, he's like 19. Reintroduced me to our Dungeons and Dragons group as his brother Birdie, or I don't know I think he may have introduced me as Adelbert, but either way, he reintroduced me as his brother. It was really cool, and everyone was like, "Oh, okay," and they had never treated me different for being a girl before, so I like my D&D group. My friends, especially at school and especially my close friends, have been really cool about it. Just like right away, most of the friends that I interact with regularly have been getting it right about 95% of the time, which is great. I mean, my family is getting it about 50-50, maybe about 60% of the time nowadays, but I mean, they've known me a much longer time,